Welcome back to Mike's Miniatures, the place for all things mini wargaming. And in today's episode, we're going to continue with our little mini series of going over all the Combat Patrol boxes that Games Workshop not only announced and released for us, but also the ones that we currently have and how we would take that Combat Patrol box and make a thematic army based off the theme that they're trying to do here. And in this episode today, we're going to do the Salamanders box, and this is kind of my reaction and my take on how I would expand the army of the Salamanders using this Combat Patrol box. First of all, let's see what's actually in the box. As you can tell, front and center right here, we actually have a character, and this is a named character for the Salamanders army. His name is Agrax Akatone. He is just a awesome captain model for the game of 40k. Definitely one of those auto includes you'd want to take in a Salamanders list. The only downside of having him in this box is it kind of makes it redundant to then try to buy a second one of these boxes, because nobody really wants to have two of the same character. However, honestly, if you do, that's fine. I probably would just take this model because this is the new plastic model of him, and maybe try to do some kit bashing and make your own custom character if you're doing your own Space Marine chapter with him from there. The box is also now going to include a squad of Eradicators. These are your heavy Gravis armor anti-tank Marines right here, with their Melta guns, and the one guy having the multi-Melta, which is that double-barreled one right there over on the right. These guys are what you'll want to have an auto include anyway with not just the Salamanders, but with a lot of Space Marines in the current meta of 10th edition, as we're wrapping up the 10th edition here, because these guys are going to be your way of dealing with big tanks and monsters and Imperial Knights with the meta right here. They're very strong weapons that can help you out with that. The next little squad that comes in this box is an Assault Intercessor squad with the Sergeant with the Power Fist, which you can do that thematically. It probably would have been better if they gave him a Power Hammer instead of the Power Fist, but that's something you can do on your own however you want to when you get your own box. That's probably what I would do if I was starting the Salamanders. With my Assault Intercessors, give them the Thunder Hammers because that's more thematic that way. And then obviously this is the best auto include. We have a 10-man Infernus Space Marine squad that can be split into two 5-man squads for that extra board coverage. These guys are awesome for anti-horde and infantry, especially when Tyranids players or Gene Stealers are coming at you. You can overwatch with these guys and just mow down enemy smaller units right here. Then finally, we're going to have a vehicle in this, and that's something I love, is when the Combat Patrols include a vehicle. It just helps it feel like you're having a good deal, and this is going to be the Invader ATV. This guy is a fast model that can go up and down the board relatively quickly, and you can magnetize the top gun to either have the Gatling cannon or the Melta cannon. This in the box art here, it has the Melta to fit more of the theme of the Salamanders here, having something that's flamer, plasma, melt down the foes as they come, and that's probably with this box is how I would build this guy up. But I would probably magnetize the top weapon so I had multiple options, so if I took it to games and that, I can just have fun and do a bit more WYSIWYG that way here. But this whole box right here comes to exactly 500 points without any enhancements. So this is right on the money. MSRP from Games Workshop, it's more than likely going to stay at $170, unless at least at the time of this recording, that's what it's coming out to be. The box, as I'm recording this, has already gone out on pre-order and should be in the stores. I believe if everything runs smoothly, I should be getting one of these boxes myself within the next couple weeks. But if you haven't, gotten it pre-order or whatnot, your local hobby store might be able to get this box for you at that sweet 10% discount, or 15 if you're in a big box store or something like that. If by the time this video drops that we can actually see these combat patrols out on Amazon and things like that, I will have an affiliate link down below that you could get that and support the channel here. But if not, the affiliate links are going to be for all the different types of Space Marines that you see in this army here. But speaking of which, how on earth are we going to expand this army from here to create a thematic Space Marine Salamander force? Well, looking closely at this box here, we do know that they love flame and melta weapons. And with the Firestorm Assault rule set, that's the Salamander focus set, that we know that they love being very close range combat, basically within 12 inches or so, 9 to 12 inches of the opponents, and just flamer on, melta on, kind of weaken the foe that way. And when you think they've had enough, then you charge in with chainsword and power hammers and just smash and cut down the enemy to pieces while claiming objectives. That's kind of the theme of the Salamanders here: be the wall of fire to first weaken, and then hammer down all the imperfections or the Xenos and the chaos and things like that. So to continue with our theme that way, let's look first at vehicles right here. And this is basically what I would get for this army. I would get 2 impulsors, because they have that special rule set where the Marines who are on it, that has the gun platform deck that they can shoot out, and they can do the disembark charge or disembark fire and get back on. And you can either do the little, like the images here have the 50 cal guns on the top right there, the 3 of them, or you could do that little turret there, get like the missile array, which is probably what I would do, just because it has better stats and better luck with rolling of the dice to actually harm other vehicles and such. But also, very thematic with this army, I'd get a repulsor executioner. It gives you some transport, but this is basically like your main centerpiece of the entire army. This will be the one that you, with cover obviously, go up the middle of the board, and as a flying fortress, just take out squad after squad after squad of enemy, especially horde cheap models, and just wipe them completely out with the big laser cannon. That is definitely a good anti-vehicle for your opponents. And then obviously every Space Marine army, and as I'm starting to love and find out, should have some sort of dreadnought as well, the walking tank. I would probably go with the Redemptor, because it's a good mix of the two, the Ballistus and the Brutalis, that's the word. So this one also has that plasma gun, which is very thematic for melting down the foes, and then having a flamer or Gatling cannon in the other fist to help mow down the light infantry. All in all, very good to have right here. The next purchases I would get, and it may seem ridiculous, but honestly, I'd get another combat patrol of the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol, because this has everything that you need. Honestly, that combat patrol is my new favorite over the old Dark Angels Combat Patrol at this point, because you get your captain with his entourage right here of the company heroes. You get a 5-man squad of Terminators, some intercessors and heavy intercessors for kind of that board control. So basically, you could have these guys use your Terminators to deep strike onto the middle of the field to just be harassing piece for your opponent to deal with. Have your captain ride up in the middle with the repulsor executioner that way, and just using him and his units to help buff other units that are nearby. And then just have your regular intercessors and heavy intercessors, like your regular ones, just stay back on your home objective to help farm those points right there, and kind of keep you from being flanked from behind. And the heavy intercessors kind of move them up with probably with the captain or by themselves in the repulsor, possibly just get them up to the front and on a middle objective, and that they are a bit tankier with 3 wounds each and such. So have them absorb the shots and kind of deny the enemy his attacks. And then as the last thing that I would probably get for this army, I would get 2 boxes of the Blade Guard veterans right here. These guys, I would combine them into a squad of 6 and attach them to Agrag Sakatone. That is a blender of a unit with those melee attacks, and some of his abilities combined with that it's incredible to see, and it's just a fun way to do it. It's almost the same as having a Judiciar with the attached to these guys, just some of the buffs that they have here. And that's basically the entire army as I would get it right here. The 2 combat patrols, the 2 blade guard boxes, and these 4 vehicles to add on, coming out to an exactly 1,785 point force right here, giving you plenty of room for points for upgrades or enhancements for your captains, for Agrax, or any of the other characters that you want to get for this army right here. Speaking of characters, we do have another new sculpt other than Agrag Sakatone and Vulcan Heston. This guy is going to be 100 points that you could add him, and you could possibly make him your warlord. MSRP don't really have much on information at time of recording, so I'm guessing he's going to be anywhere between 40 and 50 bucks for the model. But then again, Games Workshop has proven me wrong before when I guess the pricing of models. They'll probably say he's $100 model for no reason. But this guy is a beat stick all by himself. Just look at that epic pose, just walking through the fire with this spear of Vulcan. He's got his flamer on his bolt power fist right there, and then the sigil above his power pack, just the flaming salamander head. Perfect, just perfect. So I definitely, if you're not going to start a salamander army or anything like that, getting this guy alone it would be fun to have for your collection right here. But that's how I would expand on the Salamanders Combat Patrol box right here. Leave a comment down in the comment section here for me on how you guys would want to expand this army if you were starting a Salamanders force, or let me know what kind of a Space Marine army are you wanting to do. Is this the kind of box that you want to have, or is there other boxes that you would hope that Games Workshop would create here for us now? And again, with Faction Friday episodes, we're going to continue with those, and we are going to expand on some new Space Marine chapters here. Leave a comment on that if you would like me to go over a unique Space Marine chapter that you like, or if you have a custom one and you would like me to go over details about that, I'd love to hear that. Again, affiliate links below to help support the channel. And you guys have been awesome. I appreciate all the comments and support that you have given this channel. We are still a small community, but slowly growing, and it's really been a blast talking with you folks, especially some of you newer folks who are just wanting to get started in this hobby. This is despite the price tag and Games Workshop sometimes being a pill, this is still a very fun hobby to get into. But I've been Mike, this is Mike's Miniatures, and until next time guys, bye-bye.